Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host IQUA, and today we have some tragic news to discuss. On October 2nd, 2025, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur, the city of Manchester was shattered by an act of pure evil. A terrorist named, and I kid you not, Jihad Al-Shamie, a 35-year-old British citizen of Syrian descent, drove his car into innocent worshippers gathered outside the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue in Crumpsall. He then leaped out, knife in hand, stabbing security guards and bystanders in a frenzy of hatred. Two Jewish men, Melvin Kravitz, 66, and Adrian Dorbley, 53, were murdered in cold blood. Three others gravely injured. Now luckily the police managed to shoot Jihad Al-Shamie dead at the scene, but of course the scars are already left on the community and it'll take a long time for them to heal. Folks, this was no random act of violence, it was a targeted terrorist attack on Jews at prayer, driven by extreme Islamist ideology that has festered unchecked in the UK for far too long. The horror of that morning, families torn apart, blood on the sacred ground of their synagogue, it cannot be overstated. Eyewitnesses describe chaos, screams echoing as the car plowed into pedestrians, the glint of a knife flashing in the morning light. Rabbi Daniel Walker locked down doors to protect congregants inside, shielding them from the monster. But for Melvin and Adrian, sadly, help came too late. Their deaths are a profound tragedy, a desecration of peace and faith on a day meant for atonement and reflection. Now folks, how did we get here? Well, this is all thanks to the atrocious immigration policies of successive UK governments that have allowed individuals like Jihad to embed themselves in our society, radicalized and unchecked. He entered the UK as a very young child from Syria, of course, and was granted British citizenship in 2006. Yet despite a criminal history, including being on bail for an alleged rape at the time of the attack, he slipped through the cracks. Lax borders, inadequate vetting, and a failure to deport foreign nationals with criminal records or ties to extremism have created a breeding ground for such horrors. The UK has seen an explosion in anti-Semitic incidents since October 7, 2023, with synagogues and Jewish communities under constant threat. Immigration policies that prioritize open doors over national security have failed the British people, allowing radicals to thrive amid rising tensions fueled by unchecked migration from conflict zones. I'm not saying that we stop all immigration, but what I am saying is, firstly, we reduce it massively. And secondly, if you're coming in from a nation which is completely the antithesis of British society, then maybe we should think twice before letting these people in. I mean, consider the name Jihad Al-Shamie alone. Jihad literally means holy war in Arabic. A name chosen by his father. That's like me calling my kid Crusader and then moving to Turkey. And I'm afraid, folks, that this radical intent seems to have been passed down from his father, Faraj Al-Shamie. His dad, a trauma surgeon, has worked in war zones, yet on October 7th, 2023, the day Hamas launched its barbaric massacre in Israel, slaughtering over 1,200 innocents, Faraj celebrated the terrorists online. He praised Hamas figures as men of God on earth, urging them to take good care of your weapons and aim them accurately, and declared that scenes of their attack proved Israel would be destroyed. Now, I'm not saying you have to like Israel as a state, but to wish for their utter annihilation and destruction, that is, radical is one word. He hailed Hamas as the real compass of men confident of their victory. This is the environment, of course, that has raised a terrorist. One where glorifying mass murder is normalized, passed down like a poisonous legacy. And to say, oh, we couldn't see this coming, would be untrue. I'm sorry, but if you're calling your son Jihad and you're celebrating mass terrorism, well, maybe there's something wrong with you. Oh, and of course, these incidents aren't just solo actors. 6 others have been arrested in connection, including family-linked suspects pointing to a network nurtured by failing integration policies. The UK intelligence services tracked 40,000 potential threats, yet Jihad wasn't on their radar. And out of those 40,000, I believe it's 90% are Islamist extremists. And given that the UK is only home to 4 million Muslims, Well, that would mean about 1% of the UK's Muslim population are Islamist terrorists. Or they've done something which warrants them being on the watch list, which is insane. The fact that we're keeping these people around still literally makes no sense, and our pathetic government, including Keir Starmer, our weasel of a Prime Minister, will do nothing about it. The question is, how many more lurk in the shadows, enabled by immigration systems that grant citizenship without rigorous scrutiny of ideology or family ties to terror? Because if you think they've got all 40,000 of them on that list, and that's just the lot, you'd be highly wrong. Already, we know they didn't have jihad on there. These policies aren't just flawed, but they are deadly. Open borders have imported not just people, but ideologies of violence that clash with British values. The Manchester attack needs to be seen as a wake-up call. Weak immigration enforcement allows radicals like the Al-Shamies to radicalize generations, turning UK streets into battlegrounds. And the sad thing is, we shouldn't be surprised. Surveys show us that Muslims born in the UK are actually more radical than their parents who came over and immigrated here. Just imagine the terror the worshippers arriving for the atonement that morning had to face. A vehicle barreling towards them, knives slashing at guards, trying to protect their flock. Melvin Kravitz and Adrian Daubley, fathers, neighbours, pillars of their community, gone in an instant of hatred. Their family's grief is unimaginable, compounded by a nation that let this evil take root. PM Keir Starmer called it a vile attack on Jews and British values, but rhetoric alone won't suffice. You need to detain and deport these people, Keir, but you refuse to. And don't give me the bollocks of the one in, one out policy. That's already proven completely ineffective with charities blocking you constantly left, right and centre. But you know what they've suggested instead of deportations? Oh no, we're going to have extra police at synagogues. Well, that's bloody brilliant, isn't it? It's essentially damage control, not prevention. We must overhaul immigration, stricter vetting, swift deportations of criminals and extremists, and an end to policies that prioritize inflows over safety. The Great Remigration must take place. The blood of Manchester demands it. No more empty promises. Hammer home reform before the next jihad strikes. Anyhow folks, I'm going to end the video here. The Manchester terror attack of course was awful beyond words, a stain on humanity. But it's a symptom of a deeper rot in UK immigration policy. For the victims, for our future, we cannot look away. Change now, or pay the price in more innocent lives. God bless the United Kingdom, God bless those and their families affected by this incident, and I will see you all in the next one. Stay safe folks.